You know, there was a time when I thought about the theater. Of course, I studied with Stella Adams, and I had Stella for
I
years.
studied with Uda.
Oh, yeah. So they are part of there is, it was an art form that was noble and that made a contribution. And there's just so few people that do it, and you do. And I said, I mean, the reading that I went to, first of all, it was an inspired idea to have an older writer and a younger writer. I mean, to me, I had a documentary dinner party. Well, I never sold, but I had Eli Wallach and Ann Jackson,
Yum, yum.
and two of my students, Chris Carmack, who's at the time he was on the OC,
Okay.
and Bryce Dallas Howard, and so it was dinner, older actors and younger actors, and I thought I wanted to do a whole series, older writers, younger conductors, younger conductors, because I just thought that was
Yeah, because you know,
yeah.
you understand.
No, so when I saw that and just the value of it and what they came up with was so gifted. Anyway, I think what you're doing is really important. I feel like everybody should know about it because we just don't have that.
Thank you, Milton. That means a lot.
No, it's anyway. I just anyway. So periodically, there's a you in the world.
Because you are hot. That's right. I hope he appreciates it.
Okay.
Hello, is anybody out there?
How are you? I'm wonderful. Sean Abreu, has he? Is he? Oh. 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 As you ascend. To invite. Uh-huh. I ain't not never even been. I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay. Make sure you take care of my young lady. Give her the best assignment possible. As a matter of fact, you want to give her vice
Take off my shoes.
president. Sweetie, I miss you.
Me too. Thank you.
They start to do attendance.
Oh well, I
did lots of Joy. How you? Who gave you permission to be well? And why can't you complain? What happened? Said what? Have mercy. Good to see you. I did gallons of hibiscus and chamomile tea with Asian golden seal, honey, lemon, ginger, cayenne. Yeah. But I mean, like many big cups every day, along with the better part of a gallon of water, and I mega dosed with C, zinc, magnesium, black seed oil, oil of oregano. Yeah.
And
So,
it works.
well, I mean, it took, like 4 or 5 days, but fortunately, last month, middle of last month ago, right about this week, I got flu, COVID, RSV, and one other kind of virus vaccination. So what hit me? What hit me? It was like 4 or 5 days before I started bringing anything up here or here. But what came up was clear. We had no colors, so I said, so I didn't get any of those. Yeah, and now I'm about 87%. Yeah. You too, Veronica. Thank you. I'll get it for you.
You will. Thank you.
Yes, nice to see you again. How are you? Yeah. Good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, my dear.
Oh, welcome.
Wow, so
Hey, of course.
Go figure.
this would
Okay.
have been a good time to get some photos.
Well,
I spoke to the actor DOH and MH commission. Have you been speaking to them?
Trying to work
About the
newsletter. You want to get stuff to
cats?
Yeah. The one,
the tall.
well, her, but the woman there, she
What's the
works
latest?
in Salon's office. You said Salon's office.
Oh yeah, that's the man for love.
No, not
Oh, you look nice.
I know with that black
You look great.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's the community something.
Okay.
We're all here.
I don't even know that because I had a meeting with
Let's do that.
like last week.
Okay. Take off my shoes. Those are my shoes. No, those are my shoes. Jennifer? John Martin's my first name. Likewise. Lovely to meet you.
VIP. Do whatever she says.
What is it? The stick. And now I know you're a tall classic. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
How's it going so far?
Pretty good, just starting.
Okay, and how's it feeling? You finding
something new.
finding your footing,
Something new.
your legs.
Something new.
Okay.
Taking it a day at a time.
Okay, way to go. Way to go.
I can hear no one. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hey Ted, we can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Hey Ted,
Hello?
Happy New Year.
Hello?
Hi, good to see you.
John Martin.
Good to see you. Hello, good to see you.
Hello? Hello?
I'm well past Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. And then we can put it in the newsletter. I'm always about the newsletter.
Right? If it's not in the newsletter, it doesn't have
Then it's not official, right?
Exactly. Oh, your show. That's good.
Here we go. Oh, okay. I want to.
Right there in the back. That's fine.
Hello?
Good evening. Good evening, all. Can we take our seats? We're going to get started.
You're broken, I'm telling you.
Walter.
Hello?
Can we take our seats so we can get started? Okay.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Ted.
I don't hear you. I am not hearing you.
It's not on purpose. Okay. Once again, good evening, all. Welcome to the January General Board meeting for Manhattan Community Board 9. We have a lot of business before the board this evening, so I want to get started.
Yitha, I cannot hear you.
Can't see you.
Can you hear me now?
I don't get paid enough for this job. Moving on. We have two guests
Hello?
to speak this evening, so I want to start. Our newly elected borough president is here with us. He's going to address us. Also, Assemblyman Jordan J. Wright is here and just entering the building. Councilmember Yusef Salam. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming out. I'm honored and appreciate it very much. Thank you. So without further ado, Brad Hollyman Sigrup. I've been working on that name. Oh, you can use
Okay,
that.
good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone. I am Brad Hoylman Siegel. I'm the 28th Manhattan Borough President, so an honor to be here. And speaking of honors, I was honored to be present at the inaugural ceremony of Councilmember Salam last night. So congratulations to the council member for that. And speaking of the council member and our assembly member Wright, we know that there have been issues around security and understanding of Legionnaires at 333 Broadway. I want to thank the council member and the assembly member for taking the lead on that. I've been in touch with the acting commissioner of DOH MH about the situation, have reached out to the landlord. I think he's got some more work to do. I'm sure I see assembly member Wright nodding to that, but we are going to continue to work on that to hopefully get the other buildings tested and ensure that people feel safe about their drinking water. We know that hoses need to be provided to tenants, among other things. So I just want you to know that that is on our radar screen as a very important issue. I wanted to also let you know that everyone should be getting their flu shots. There has been an outbreak of flu, and now there's a second wave. They're actually calling it a super flu, some of the highest rates of flu in New York State in years. Tomorrow, here at my Northern Manhattan office, we're actually having a free flu shot clinic. So if you know someone who still needs a flu shot, don't believe the hype that the flu shot isn't effective. There's actually a study that came out just a couple of weeks ago that shows that while it may not be a perfect match with this variant of flu, it does give you some protection against both the flu strain that was earlier circulating throughout the community and also the newest one. So just wanted to let you know that's going to be from 12 to 4 p.m. here at our office on West 125th. And then third, and I won't take up too much more of your time, we are having an inauguration celebration and borough convention coming up. That's going to be, there's flyers out here, Sunday, February 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m. at Lincoln Center, Broadway and 65th. The idea is, yeah, we're going to have the inauguration. Maybe we'll get the mayor to show up and hopefully some of my colleagues, but we're going to have a convention of Manhattanites to talk about the issues that matter to them most and really set the agenda as a community. Because let's face it, that's part of my job, is to convene the community and see what the issues are and hopefully develop a plan to address them. So that's the third thing. And then finally, I just wanted to shout out a few of my team members. Everyone knows Porforio, who's here. He's amazing. And I hope people know Jennifer Barnes Balenciaga, who's here, who's been a fantastic intern on my team. And we have a new director of community affairs, Marielle Ali, and I wanted to welcome her and make certain that everyone knew that she is representing our team as well. And thank you to my colleagues, and thank you to the community board for welcoming me with such open arms. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to come back anytime. Question?
There's some here at the table too. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Any other? Yes, question in the back. Oh.
Yeah. Yes, the Verizon outlet. Yeah. I agree. It is so worrisome. I was with Commissioner Jessica Tisch, NYPD Commissioner, at a meeting with her, one-on-one, and I'm trying to text her something, and her phone goes out. If the NYPD Commissioner's phone isn't working, that's even a bigger problem. I hope we're going to be sending, and I'm going to be joining my colleagues, a letter to the Public Service Commission trying to get to the bottom of why this outage happened. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And Verizon was the one who was convincing everyone to get rid of those analog lines. No, I think that's a really strong point, and we're going to be following up with the Public Service Commission that regulates Verizon.
Great.
Thank you.
One last question of myself. Yeah. At the 3333 building, I was there for the press conference and the meeting, and I asked the owners of the building, would they go ahead and test the other 3 towers? They're only required by the health department to test 2. And they said no, basically. So
Yeah.
if we can push back on that, that
Yeah,
would be
let me
great.
see, I just was in touch with the owner. Don't have an answer
Eisenberg?
yet from
Oh,
him,
okay.
but we have asked that very question, if they can test the other buildings too.
Great.
So we're on it.
Thank you.
And I'll be working with the council member and the assembly member on that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, good to see everyone.
If I may, just one more thing. The Community Board application portal will open this Friday at 5 p.m. moving forward, so that anyone who needs to reapply or it's their term limit is up this year needs to reapply. So I just wanted to announce that.
How long is it up for?
It closes on the 27th of February.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Mr. Wright? Assemblyman Jordan Wright, thank you for coming as always. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. Good evening, Community Board 9. How are we doing tonight? I'm your Assemblyman, Jordan J.G. Wright, representing this community in the New York State Assembly in Albany, where the governor just delivered her State of the State address. The address had a number of different priorities. The one I found to be most prominent was universal child care. I think absolutely, clap it up for universal child care. I will definitely be fighting for that in Albany this session. I think it's important that we get that done because, selfishly, I have a new niece and nephew. And I am sick and tired of my brother calling me saying, come take care of these damn children. Happy to do so. I love Sadie and Asher. So that was one of the main things that the governor was chatting about in her State of the State. But, we're revving up for a new session in Albany. I'm on the same committees as I was last year. I'll run them again just so people can remember. I am on the Libraries Committee, the Economic Development Committee, the Transportation Committee, the Racing and Wagering Committee. So I'm on those committees right now, and I think those are important for this neighborhood. And I think the Aging Committee as well. Did I say that? I don't remember. Okay, Aging Committee, that's the final one that I'm on. So it's important for our community to know that those are very impactful ones for our, our 70th district, and I think it's super important. So just know I'll be in Albany fighting for all of you. I think it's important that we're always working together. So I want to thank my borough president, Brad Hoylman, and I'm definitely going to be working together with him in his office to ensure that, we're holding the owners of 3333 Broadway accountable. I think that's really key. I was able to actually make it to the meeting portion, not the press conference, because I was on my way down from Albany. But I had I had my luggage, had my backpack. I was a real traveling politician that day, so it was good. And one more thing I just want to share. Just want to make sure everyone's being safe. We're coming into the, getting cold out there, like the borough president said. Make sure you're getting your flu shots. We're always going to be following science here in the 70th Assembly District when the rest of the country does not want to. So just know we're always going to make sure that we're being safe. We're following science. We're taking care of our health. And again, I'm your Assembly Member, Jordan J.G. Wright, and I look forward to working with everybody here. Thank you so much. Yes. The Transportation Committee, yes. Absolutely. Take your time. Yep. What's your name? What's your name? Lydia. So Lydia, what I will share is, part of our new mayor's affordability agenda is about, fast and free buses. And one thing I will share with you is, while the mayor is in New York City, Albany is the one that controls the MTA. I'm definitely a proponent of the affordability agenda, and I think that we will take a very hard look at all the things that come with that. And the mayor's been asking for fast and free buses. We'll see what his plan is, and then we'll go from there. But not disagreeing with you at all, but I just wanted to lay that out there in a very calm way. Yep, absolutely. I know you know that too. I'm just sharing. I got to get that answer, so yes. Go ahead. Yes. Yes. Sure, thank you. What's your name, brother? Alex, thank you, Alex. So what I'll share on that regarding congestion pricing specifically, because I lived in London for a little bit, when I was in school. So what I will share is I saw a lot of that and I felt a lot of that, and I've actually thought about that when I went in after congestion pricing was already passed and a done deal. But everything needs amendments, everything needs to be looked at. I believe congestion pricing just had its first birthday. So I know that traffic was down, foot traffic was up, businesses were up. I think we've seen a lot of good things come from congestion pricing. So now we have to see what the next step of that looks like. Maybe that will be exemptions for some kind of Manhattanites or, folk with disabilities. But we have to see what that looks like. I think a year is a good, marking, stopgap, time to see. But I think, we'll see year 2, year 3, year 4, and we'll kind of see what that leads to. But I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I think that would be a great thought. So thank you so much for sharing, Alex. I appreciate that. Yes. What's your name? Jordan. Oh, it's my name. Look at you. Fantastic. Good, great name. What I will share, Jordan, is that we just kind of started conferencing and we're kind of seeing what the priorities are for this budget cycle. The governor will present her budget and then we'll see what the deal is. I can't really speak too much about what we're going to talk about going forward because we haven't talked about it yet. But I think in the next 2 weeks, we go up on Tuesday again for session. Well, I should have more answers, by the next time I come back here. And if I don't, hold me to that, but I will talk to you again, Jordan, I promise. I'll give you my card too so you can call my office as well.
Jordan, I have one last question. One of our online people.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Ted?
Thought you wanted to talk.
Yes. In part, I heard what you were talking about the 125th Street accessibility. I have to say to you that way back when I was chair of the board, your dad and I worked very hard to ensure that the 125th Street station not be skipped. And what I want to say to you is that this is now an item that is very much on the order of, quote, skipping the station. We have a bunch of people who, I'm sorry to say, aren't able to deal with the escalators, which may or may not be there working. And it is very important that we do something about getting the 125th Street IRT station accessible. And I'm hoping you will be able to do something that your dad started.
Well, I'm used to finishing things my dad started, like dishes and clothes and et cetera, et cetera. But no, what I will share is I'm happy to take a look at that, and I think that's key, because we can't skip any station in Harlem. Harlem has to stop being skipped. We've been skipped for far too long.
Thank you. Thank you, Assemblyman. Appreciate it.
And also, one more thing, my office, Harlem State Office Building, I can be reached at 212-866-5809. I'll say that one more time, Harlem State Office Building, 212-866-5809, Suite 911. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Councilmember Yusef Salam, honored to have you here as well. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, and thank you for making sure that these keep going. May the peace, mercy, and blessings from the owner of all peace, mercy, and blessings be upon each and every one of you and your families. Good evening, everyone, especially this Community Board 9. I want to take the opportunity to commend Chair Victor Edwards and the board's leadership for their steadfast guidance of this body, which continues to stand at the forefront of good governance. I also want to thank each board member for your service, your willingness to volunteer, your time, your energy, to ensure that the voices of the residents of Community Board 9 are heard, and that does not go unnoticed. For the past 2 years, I've had the honor and the privilege of serving this ninth council district, which covers a portion of this board. And I'm proud to share that I've been reelected, as was said earlier, to an additional 4 years. And I do so with a deep sense of responsibility to this very community. As we begin this new year, we do so at a moment of renewed opportunity, renewed responsibility. A new calendar year brings not only fresh energy, but it also brings a chance to reflect on where we have been and to reconnect ourselves and really to recommit ourselves to the work ahead. Work grounded in transparency, in equity, and in responsiveness to the needs of our neighbors. I'm proud to announce, and I got to take my phone out for this because I've just been informed today of my new chairmanship and also new committees. So I am the chair for the Committee to Combat Hate in all forms and all fashions. That's a new committee that was created by our new speaker, Julie Menon, and I'm proud to be on that, to make sure that we can shine light in dark spaces. I'm on the Committee of Criminal Justice. I am on the Committee of Housing and Buildings. I'm on the Committee of Land Use. I'm on the Committee of Parks and Recreations, the Committee of Small Business, and the Committee of Zoning and Franchising. Yes, indeed. What I want to mention too is about the opening of the discretionary funding process. I want to underscore that how critical that this period is for our community-based organizations, cultural institutions, service providers, and faith-based partners. These funds are often the difference between programs expanding or closing, the difference between services reaching those who need them the most or falling short of that effort. I strongly encourage organizations across Community Board 9 to engage early, to apply thoughtfully, and to continue working closely with the Community Board to ensure funding decisions reflect real on-the-ground needs. I also encourage all interested organizations to reach out to my office directly and to regularly check our website and social media channels for continuous updates on the discretionary funding process. With that, in the year ahead, my office remains committed to working hand in hand with this board to advance the priorities that matter most to our residents: housing stability, public safety, sanitation, youth opportunities, senior services, and economic resilience. We know that good governance is not abstract. It is felt in the everyday quality of life on our blocks, in our schools, in our parks, and in our small businesses. So as we move forward, I want to also reaffirm that my door remains open. The strength of our district lies in ongoing dialogue between residents, the community board, city agencies, and elected leadership. When we listen with respect, when we listen and act with purpose, when we listen with respect and act with purpose, we build not just policy, but we in fact build trust. I look forward to another year of partnership, accountability, and progress. Together, let's continue the work of ensuring that Community Board 9 remains a place where every resident is seen, is heard, and is served with dignity and grace. Yes, indeed, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And lastly, I didn't get a chance to say this to all of you, but I wish you a healthy and prosperous new year. Thank you, thank you. Yes.
12.
I see your hand.
For Councilmember Kalam. Last year we met and we talked about after-school funding and forming a coalition for after-school funding. I just want to bring it back and so that we can meet again.
Absolutely,
This year. Thank
absolutely. It's important. You know, one of the things that we know that happens in our community, I have 10 children, so I know this very, very clear. Yeah, child care, child care, child care. Yes, indeed. You know, so I don't know. It sounded like he said TV, right? Get a TV. Right? But what I will say is this, oftentimes where the challenge lies is that we often have to drop our children off at school and our children get out of school before we get off of work. So to make sure that we have programs that are robust, that keep our children engaged, all of those things are things that we've been discussing in this past council year, but we will make sure that we move that forward because we need that, right? Not only is the train stop being skipped for the accessibility that we need, but our whole district is in need of making sure that we put those real infusing components into our district so that our children have things like meals, great programs, and continued education, right? Because sometimes we need assistance after the fact. Yeah, my pleasure.
Great. Any other questions for?
I do want to mention this too, because our assemblyman, my assemblyman, mentioned not only where his office is at, my office is also in the state office building currently on the second floor, suite 222. I have our chief of staff here. Just raise your hand, Wilma Brown. Yes, and Steve. And I got two trusted members of my team as well. I just want y'all to raise your hand too. One in the front, one in the back. Our district office phone number is 212-678. 212-678-4505. And as always, my door is open. I can be reached by email, but if you really, really, really need me, I'm talking about really need me, call Wilma. True story, like, but thank you and good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our guests this evening. I appreciate you coming and speaking with us, really do. Okay, at this time, I'm going to call a meeting to order at 7:10. General Board meeting of Manhattan Community Board 9, January 15th, 2026. Motion to adopt the agenda? Second. And motion to adopt the minutes with any necessary corrections? All righty. Okay, at this time, First Vice Chair will call the roll.
Good evening, all. Okay, here we go. April Adams. Okay. Joyce Adewume. Walter Alexander. Marquise Bell. He's excused, I believe. Andrea Brecker. Thank you. Gregory Brito. Cameron Clark. Patricia Caldwell. Felipe Castillo. Vanessa Kaufman. You're welcome. Juan Calameres. Gretchen Connolly. Dejan DePino. Merida Dunn. Elizabeth Eastman. Victor Edwards.
Present.
Denise Ford. Lydia Gerson. John Martin Green. Michael Gross, Daria Hardiman, Monique Harding Cordero, present. Laquita Henry, Heather Jason, Chris Johnson, Patricia Watler Johnson, Milton Justice, how do you say? Tiago Kiao? Tiago? Oh, it's been Kiel. Thank you. Ted Kovaloff, Christina Maria Lopez. Thank you, Ted. Tina Lumley, Rhea McDonald, Deirdre McIntosh Brown, Alana Mercado, Clotilde Mogoya. Thank you. Georgette Morgan Thomas, Lena Lepolnowski, Solomon Prophet, Teresa Coles-Ragan, Janara Ramirez, David Ratner, Mateen Sarsi, Veronica Savage, Jordan Shear, Shantae Stiles, Francina Warren, and Abraham Alexander Jememes. Sorry, I'll get it. We have quorum. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you so much. Moving forward, next item on the agenda would be the chair's report that's in your package. I'll run through it quickly myself. Public hearing last week, January 7th, quite a few people showed up to speak on 1727 Amsterdam Avenue to express their opinions on what was going on there. I really appreciate it. We had a great outturning of people in person and online. Great. Thank you so much for letting your voices be heard in either direction. So it was well noted by several people who spoke to me afterwards about the amount of people that showed up. So thank you. Legionnaire's disease, 2 cases at 3333 Broadway. I attended the meeting last Monday and attended the meeting last evening, or night before last, Tuesday. Thank you. Tuesday evening. We're pressing the owners and management to, as I said before, test all the buildings. It's internal. It's not the cooling towers as it was in Harlem earlier this year. It's in the water itself, and they've instructed people to not take showers because the mist from the shower head is what often you breathe in and causes the Legionnaires to be contracted by people. So we are hoping this goes through quickly. They do have a vendor to do the testing. That would be towers A and B. They're connected by the same water source, so we're hoping this goes very, very quickly. We'll see. Keep monitoring closely. CB9 attendance review, we'll be doing that very shortly, probably at the next executive board meeting. We're bringing people forward that have issues with their attendance according to our bylaws. So we'll be sending out letters very shortly regarding that. New committee chair at Economic Development is Mr. Michael Gross. Joining Ms. Adewume Joyce, who's back from Nigeria, healthy. Thank you. Thank you. Abraham Alexander has been selected as one of the co-chairs of Landmarks, Parks, and Preservation. Thank you. We're moving forward with there. So welcome to you guys to the executive board. One other meeting for you to attend, and looking for great input from both of you joining the team. Thank you so much for coming forward. Columbia University Apartments, we sent notices out about that through the hard work of Morningside Heights Community Coalition and some help from us. We have Columbia offering some of the apartments in their portfolio to the residents in the community, rent-stabilized apartments. There's going to be a lottery system, basically, for those apartments that Columbia has held, and hopefully going forward, we'll have more apartments. And some of the rents are really great. So if people can let other people know about putting into those, that would be, I think, a great thing. That was hard work by some members here that are on MHCC, so thank you, appreciate it. Holiday celebrations. I attended Riverside Church for their celebration of toys, giveaways. I mean, the number of toys they had there was incredible. Riverside Hawks, West Harlem Development Corp., and other organizations supplied toys for the young people. They had a lunch there as well. And our very own Walter Alexander played Santa Claus, which is not much of a stretch, so. And he did sing here last community board meeting, yes, and thank you for that, Walter. Appreciate it. Also, I attended Manhattanville's holiday celebration where they had toys and food, and a great outpouring of young people came to that as well, so much appreciated. As I've said probably privately and publicly to a lot of people, wishing everyone a happy and most importantly a healthy new year. We all stay healthy, help each other where is needed, and help our community as we go forward. A lot of people will be looking to us as things change in the country and this community as well. They often look to us for answers or to relay information. I get stopped on the street sometime and they ask questions about what this or that and how can we help and what we can do, and there's hungry families or people with rents overdue. They often look to us. We want to be that source going forward this year as well. I take very seriously the work that we do and the information we supply to the community. So thank you for your hard work, really do. And that concludes my chair's report. So we'll move on to the treasurer's report.
So good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome back. The treasurer's report is in your packet. Please take a look at it. It's pretty much straightforward. If you have questions, please let us know. I want to make a note that thanking the co-chairs and community for their participation in the Community Board District Needs Statement. I know that the OMB will, in a couple of weeks, will release the agency responses, and once we get that, we'll revisit, make our comments, and review it. Also, for committee co-chairs, for your funding, please let us know in advance if you plan to have any events, and if you wish to use your funding. There's a new form. You can get it through the district office, and that's my report. Thank you.
Good evening, all. In addition to my report, I have a few highlights and additions that I'd like to share with you. One being NYC Parks Manhattan Recreation will be hosting a free open house from Sunday, February 15th through Saturday, February 21st. The open house will include free access to pools, tracks, fitness equipment, fitness classes, and media labs across 11 recreation centers in Manhattan. Please see the flyers at the info table for further information and how to register. Also, Ladders for Leaders, a nationally recognized program that offers outstanding high school and college students the opportunity to participate in paid professional summer internships with corporations, non-for-profit organizations, and government agencies within NYC. For more information about the programs, you can apply and visit their website at www.applications.nycsyep.com. The deadline for submissions is tomorrow at, I guess, close of business, 5 p.m. You can call the district office. I'm trying to see if I can obtain further information or if they're going to extend the deadline. DSNY is welcoming artists, professional, amateur, and aspiring to submit applications to transform a 46,000-pound collection vehicle into a work of art. Priority will be given to proposals that celebrate keeping NYC clean, sustainability, and DSNY workforce. To promote sustainability, artists are encouraged to use paints that would otherwise be discarded or recycled. Full details for the trucks and art project, including submission information, is available in the request for expressions of interest at nyc.gov/truckart. Selected artists will be paid a stipend of up to $1,500 by the Department of Sanitation Foundation. All applications must be submitted by Sunday, February 8th at 11:59 p.m. The Department of Sanitation Foundation, along with special guests, will choose the finalists. Paint will be provided and trucks will be painted in April. And again, I'll keep saying it at every meeting, the Home Energy Assistance Program, HEAP, HEAP, is a federally funded program that helps low-income homeowners and renters heat and cool their homes. The 2025 through 2026 regular HEAP benefit is now open, and you can apply online via Access HRA. Applications will be accepted until funds are exhausted. If you are eligible, you may receive one regular HEAP benefit per program year to help pay your heating bills for your home. New York City, oh, I think I finished that. Yeah, that concludes my additions to my reports. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Yutha. Next up, West Harlem Development Corp. report given by Pat Watler Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. And before I go on, let me at least also, can you hear me? Okay, let us also give thanks. Monday is Dr. Martin Luther King, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Let us give memory to the struggle that he committed to for all of us and to benefit everyone. So I want to say, definitely give honor and praise to Dr. King. As we celebrate, it's a day of service, it's a day on, not a day off. Okay, since the report was prepared, I learned that there was the annual meeting. The WHDC annual meeting is going to be held on Saturday, February 7th. So at the time of the report, I didn't know that. So now I know, so I'm letting you know. So let me see. There was holiday donations that were given. Executive Director Ziad Ramadan had announced that WHDC donated approximately 2,100 toys to 10 West Harlem not-for-profit organizations during the month of December. And also, we were proud to, WHDC was proud to give toys to the 26th Precinct Council and the 30th Precinct Council. So thank you. And congratulations on that. The Jackie Robinson Park Conservancy, WHDC was a proud supporter of that, their annual 28th annual Lights of Hope event on December 10th. And in her thank you letter, the chair, Ms. Sonia Simmons, had expressed gratitude for WHDC's support. And to paraphrase or to quote, thank you, West Harlem Development Corporation, for standing with the Jackie Robinson Park Conservancy and for your continued dedication to service and community well-being. And Mr. Ramadan, as well as Joanna Castro, WHDC Director of Programs, also represented at that event. Now, the West Harlem Older Adult Alliance. Before I speak, I gotta recognize my sisters and brothers, Pat Caldwell, Walter Alexander, Deirdre McIntosh Brown, and Francina Waring. Raise your hands. Wave your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. I always have to, we all are proud, we work together, and it's a pleasure working with all of you in those efforts. Now, what did WO do? WO had, and I call it an impromptu trip because we just found out about it quickly and we were able to make opportunities available to go see the off-Broadway hit musical, 44, the Obama musical. And it was wonderful. The tickets were available on Sunday, December 28th at the Darrell Roth Theater. It was a lot of fun, a whole lot of fun, a whole lot of laughter and everything. And of course, I have to give a shout out to Mr. Hamer, Mr. William Hamer, who is he's our, I call him our coordinator, our executive director, but he always say he's the coordinator. And also in the play, we had the opportunity to go. There's an artist, I don't know if you all remember the artist Shanice, that had a song called I Like Your Smile. She played Michelle Obama in the play. And that was just awesome. And also, again, shout out to Mr. Heyman and all my WOA colleagues. The Harlem Chamber Players are having its annual Black History Month celebration on Thursday, February 5th at Aaron Davis Hall. This year's Black History Month celebration will be Miss Tanya Leone, Mr. Josh Henderson, Mr. Terrence McKnight, Mr. Leland Simmons, and Mr. Eddie Venegas, with the string orchestra comprising members of the Harlem Chamber Players and dancers from the Harlem School of the Arts. If you'd like more information, please visit the website at www.harlemchamberplayers.org. And that concludes my report. Hi, Barry. That concludes my report. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving down, Michael Gross, representing Morningside Heights Community Coalition. Thank you, Michael. Who wears a lot of hats.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? Happy New Year. Just two quick things. As Victor mentioned, as a lot of you probably know now, these apartments are in Columbia-owned buildings. MHCC is working really hard to make more vacant apartments owned by Columbia available to the community. And so we'll be meeting with them again on the 30th to talk about expanding the program that's been created to make these apartments available. Other thing, Columbia's gates still remain closed, making it really hard for folks in the community to be a part of the community, access different parts of the community, whether that's crossing from Broadway to Amsterdam or hanging out on campus. And so there'll be a rally next Tuesday on the 20th. So we encourage folks to come out for that. All right, thanks. 12 o'clock. It's at 12 o'clock. Awesome. Thanks, Ray.
12 o'clock at the gates itself, right?
At 116th and Broadway.
116th and Broadway.
Yeah, it's like half a block from 116th.
115th and Broadway. 12 o'clock next Tuesday. Got it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Mike. Okay. Before we go forward, you might have noticed in your on the agenda a presentation of an award. The first annual Carolyn Thompson Community Leadership Award. And this year, yes, you can applaud. This year, we were going to present it to Captain Rose of the 30th Precinct for the great work he has done and is still doing. I could text, call him day, night, weekend, anytime. He would get right back to me. If something was happening in the community, he would call me, Vic, this is what's going on. I just want to let you know. I've worked, here with some captains. I've worked at night with captains, and I've never had a captain that was just accessible, just so accessible. It's a loss to us, but a gain for another precinct where he was transferred to, and that's just the way the cycle goes in NYPD. I had asked him to be here. He can't be here tonight. I'm going to ask Officer Stumer to accept on his behalf. Yeah, of course. Oh, there you go.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all. So actually, the reason why he's not here tonight is this morning he had to speak at something called ComStat, which for those that don't know, ComStat is basically where they hold precinct commanders accountable for their communities. So the chief of the department will come down, will ask them questions about what they're doing to address issues. So he got to go down there today and actually speak about all the great work that's happening in Harlem and all the crime fighting he's doing. So very, very good reason, for, unfortunately, for him not being here tonight. To go from April's question, the way it works now is when there's an opening for a precinct, what will happen is they'll issue like a bulletin to other captains throughout the city, and they'll say, anybody interested in working in this precinct? Then the chiefs downtown will shorten the list from 10 people to 2 or 3, and then the most important part is the community has a vote in it. So what they do is we invite various community leaders from the area, and they actually get to interview these captains and make sure that the right person is going to be representing this area. It's a new thing they've been doing over the last 3 years, and they've been seeing a lot of success for it, because not only does it, avoid any type of impropriety, it gives the community a voice to say, hey, we want someone who has a good vested interest to support this community. So we had those interviews this week, and we should hopefully hear, depending on how fast the NYPD wants to move, within the next week or two on who the new commanding officer is going to be.
Just for the record, Solomon Prophet did attend the interview process.
Yeah, Joyce Adewume attended, as well as Monique Hardin Cordero from the community board. There were other representatives from different community organizations throughout West Harlem that attended the interview process. We were able to ask about 8 to 9 questions, Joyce, to both of the candidates, and both of them were very impressive. I don't think that we can go wrong with either one of them. But each member of the panel got to vote and submit their vote and justification for their choice of who's going to lead the 30th.
Thank you, Solomon.
Anything else, Chair?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, officers.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, up next would be Manhattan Borough President. I don't know if they want to, any. There you go. Oh.
I never pass up an opportunity to speak, as you all know. So a couple of things you need to know. Sean Brannon, though we love him and miss him, has gone on, and he has now become the personal assistant to the comptroller, Mark Levine. We are thrilled for that change for him, sad for us. So we are in the process of looking for someone right now. In the interim, I will be here because I have missed CB9 for a long, long time. It's good to be back. So if you need anything in the interim from our office, just reach out to me. And of course, our new director of community affairs, Marielle Ali, and who has been sort of my right-hand person, Jennifer Barnes Balenciaga, for the last year. I do want to reiterate one more time what I said earlier. The portal opens on Friday at 5 p.m. Those of you who know that your term ends in 26, which is now this year, need to reapply. You will find that the new application is very interesting and actually much more designed this year for the work that you actually do on a daily basis. So, and the questions are also, you will find, are much more active and guided towards the daily work that your committees do as well. So one last thing, like I said, take out your phones. If you're writing, write this down. Sunday, February 22nd at Lincoln Center, Alice Tully Hall, will be our Talk to Manhattan convention and his ceremonial swearing in for Brad Hoylman Siegel. And that will start at 1 in the afternoon, okay? And yeah, the whole entire office will be there. You'll get a chance to interact with all of us. But more than that, what you will get a chance is to actually bring what you feel is your vision for New York City. We want to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, next up, public session. First Vice Chair.
Thank you. Okay, first. Yes, thank you. So first up, George Bruce Library, and you only have 3 minutes. So as soon as you come up, the clock will start ticking.
Hi, happy New Year, everyone. I'm Janelle Carter Bowman, Library Manager for George Bruce Library, located at 518 West 125th Street. So I have 2 announcements. The New York Public Library has entered into a partnership with the New Victory Theater. This is New York's first and only nonprofit theater dedicated to kids and families. So they have a wonderful partnership and initiative going. They're inviting all of our NYCHA residents who are interested in free theater for the family. So I have these flyers in the front. So please take them for your friends and family that are NYCHA residents in our Grant and Manhattanville community. And they'll get up to 4 free tickets, and they're first come, first served basis. So this is a wonderful way to introduce your family to some wonderful quality free theater that's specially made for kids and family. So once again, this flyer's here at the table. And if they need any technical needs with signing up for the tickets, my staff is here. You could come to the library and we'll be able to sit down with you with a laptop and guide you through the form process so you'll be able to get access to those free tickets as well. Also with the new year, it is now tax time. So I have some of these pamphlets here on the table as well on how to find out where you can get a trusted professional tax preparer to do your taxes. Unfortunately, our location will not be providing tax services, but I know my colleagues at Hamilton Grange will be. AARP will be there to assist starting February 7th on Saturdays between 11 and 2:30 p.m. It is by appointment only. So definitely you can give them a call and they'll be able to give you the number to make appointments so you can get free professional tax services. And those are all of my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, Barry.
I will keep it moving. Good evening, everybody. It was really great to see so many folks who came out Wednesday to testify about 1727 Amsterdam Avenue. As a reminder, there is still time to submit written testimony at least through 11:59 on January the 29th, is what we've been told so far by DCP. But I'm here actually to talk about a slightly different building. I'm here to talk about 620 West 153rd Street, which, if you will know, is right by the cemetery, and it is the very tall building that was built recently. This board inquired to the Department of Buildings a number of years ago as to the building's compliance with the zoning code. There was an audit, and they found that the building was, in fact, over twice the permitted height under the zoning regulation. So the owner applied to the Board of Standards and Appeals for a variance, saying that they'd been effectively misled, or they had in good faith tried to comply. Their architect said it was fine. DOB approved the permits. And this board, of course, passed a resolution asking them to not do that and allow them to seek a zoning amendment that would legalize the building in exchange for affordability requirements. And the BSA, rather rudely and disparagingly of this community board, granted them a variance without any required affordability component, and made it very clear that they wanted the community board to know that. And so I would urge the board to consider filing an objection or an appeal through a process that David Radner has identified with the Supreme Court of the state of New York in Manhattan, but you have only 30 days to do it. So it doesn't look like it has to be a formal lawsuit, but I think this board should continue to stay on the record as to, we think it is unconscionable that this developer gets to flaunt the law, get a huge windfall in terms of market rate apartments with views they're not entitled to, and not have to give anything back to the community despite the impact they made. So, thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much.
Next up, Dorot. Did I say it correctly?
Hi there. My name is Kay Malika. Kay like the jewelers. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the outreach specialist with an organization called DeRote. So, no worries, you did great. So DeRote is a nonprofit based on the Upper West Side, and our mission is to build meaningful connections, community, and friendships for older adults, so meaning folks who are 60 and older. So in other words, our mission is to reduce social isolation and loneliness via social connection for older individuals. So we do this by entirely no-cost programming that is available on-site, at home, so we come to you, over the phone, and Zoom programs. So I'll underline that again, everything that we offer is free. So older adults in Community Board 9 who live between 104th and 125th Street are eligible for those in-home programs, things like friendly visiting. We have in-home tech coaching, so we'll send a volunteer to an older adult. They sit together on their phone, laptop, Kindle, show them how to use it for up to 8 weeks, totally free. We also have errand support. That's everything from helping a neighbor get groceries or even going over and playing cards together. We kind of do a little bit of everything. And we also have many community-based, meaningful, interpersonal volunteer opportunities, and that's actually for all ages and for groups as well. So we're very happy and proud to be sort of starting to build a relationship here with Community Board 9 staff. And again, my name is Kay, so feel free to say hello. I have some business cards with me. For folks in this space, there's brochures of everything we do, listed everything top to bottom over here. And for those online, that is DeRoteUSA.org, DOROTUSA.org. Thank you.
Question?
Yeah, let me clarify. That's a great question. So the question was, who are the in-home programs eligible for in this area? So on the Upper West Side, DeRote goes in-home from 59th to 125th. So that means those in this district, right, would be from 104 to 125. However, if someone's like, I live on 127, we'll most likely make an exception. That's why I encourage you to check out our website and give us a call, see what we can do for you. So we do serve everywhere if folks come to us, right, for free classes, concerts, lectures, that kind of thing. Phone programs, everybody. Zoom programs, everybody. We just have that limit in terms of capacity for going in-home to the Upper East and actually Upper West Side. So if you have folks on the Upper East Side that might want to know about this program, that area is 14th to 96th. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, West Harlem Progressive Democrats.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh, here we go. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're having an excellent evening today. My name is Niles Robinson. I'm coming to you with the West Harlem Progressive Democrats. The main reason I'm standing up here is because for the past couple of months, I've been trying to gain steam and organize a youth mental health forum in the area that I would love for CB9 to put on, to host. In the state of the world and the state of our country specifically, there has been a lot of youth ailments as far as depression and loneliness and suicide rates going up in our youth. The main reason I would love to put on this youth mental health forum is to get everyone, youth educators as well as health educators, into the same room to be able to come up with ideas and align on any kind of initiatives that may be possible to help our children. Our children are in dire need right now. I am a former youth mental health coordinator with the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, as well as I'm a mentor for downtown, this agency called 212 Digital Advertising Agency. I do mentorship with them as well. And I feel like this is a very pressing need that we need to address before things get a little bit more worse than they are. For the past 5 years, ever since COVID, there has been a sort of a lost generation of kids who don't really know how to interact with one another, and you can actually see it in their day-to-day interactions right now in present day. So I've been having some background conversations with elected officials as far as getting this Youth Mental Health Forum on board, and I would love for CB9 to be one of the first districts in New York to host one of these. So if you would like to talk to me, if this sounds like a great idea, I have my Blink card on my phone. We can definitely exchange information. We definitely talk. And thank you. That is all.
Question?
Yes. Youth Mental Health Forum. Well, the purpose of the forum would be to get together health
It's a forum.
professionals. It's a forum. Yeah, to get together mental health professionals as well as youth educational teachers to be able to come together and bounce ideas off of each other and be able to come up with ideas, sort of a youth mental health fair in a sense. Yes.
Thank you, Niles. I introduced you to youth
Yes.
education libraries and health. Cameron, have you met? Okay, great.
Yes.
So two to start with.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Everyone have a good evening.
All right, I just saw Lydia. You're up. Yes. You should.
Hi, I just wanted to make you aware, a play of mine is running downtown. It's based on an actual abortion case in 1943, just before we went to war. And it was a national scandal. And it created a set of consequences that I think we're starting to see now. And I wasn't really excited about having to do this, but after they overturned Roe v. Wade, I decided this was a very important thing to focus on. Women have been living with this issue for decades, and right now we're facing a situation where only 9 out of the 50 states allow women to get abortions legally. And many people who are going to be affected, because by the way, the rich always were able to get abortions. They always could get abortions. And by the way, abortions weren't always illegal in this country until the end of the 19th and the early 20th century. And it's very surprising to know who was the one, what group was the one that wanted to make sure that abortions were not being performed by women as they had been in Europe for generations. A lot of Eastern European women would come over and perform these abortions safely and cleanly. The doctors felt that it was cutting in to their own business, the AMA. So this is a case that actually happened by a doctor here in 1943 in Riverside Drive, and it's an actual documented case. And there'll be flyers here, and we've got a very great, good cast. I'm hoping to move the show somewhere after this. So I just wanted to make you aware in the community about this event. Where is it? Thank you. Where? It's downtown. Well, it's on the thing. It's Suffolk Street. It's all the way downtown. The Teatro Latia. And there's flyers there. So Suffolk Street. You know, I always get lost downtown. I'm gonna have to get an Uber down there. Anyway, Teatro Latia, and it'll be there for a limited run, and then we're hoping to move it.
What are the dates right now?
The dates, as we have it on here, it's next week, January 19th at 6:15. There's a late show at January 23rd at 9 o'clock that my little friend Ashley's coming to. January 25th at 3:30 p.m. and all of CCNY is going to that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Last but not least, Cameron.
As folks might be aware, on Monday, the New York State Nurses Association started a strike. It's actually the largest strike in city history. This is the 4th day that they've been striking so far. It's 15,000 nurses. This is across, I think it's 6 hospitals remaining. Mount Sinai, Montefiore, New York Presbyterian, all over the city. And essentially the things that they're striking for are safe staffing levels that they actually won in the previous strike that now the hospitals are trying to renege on those commitments. And I don't know if you've ever been in a hospital recently, but I have never been in a hospital and thought, you know, I think there's actually too many nurses per patient. So I think that's a little bit ridiculous. They're also advocating for healthcare benefits for the actual nurses so that the nurses can actually afford to get care in the very hospitals where they're providing care to patients, which the hospitals are declining to give them. And then finally, protections from workplace violence. I don't know if folks have heard about the recent, active shooter incidents in these hospitals. There have been incidents where, patients have wielded knives, have been shot by police, have attacked, nurses and staff in these hospitals. And so they're advocating for more protections in the workplace from incidents of violence. The hospitals have fought tooth and nail against all of these, I would say, very reasonable demands, and they have bragged about how much money they've spent, more than $100 million on travel nurses to sort of prevent the impact of the nurses' strike from it. Scabs, all right, we can call it scabs. They've spent more than $100 million on scabs that they brought in. And they've also hired the same PR firm that was hired by Harvey Weinstein, by Jared Kushner, and by the Sackler family to try to discredit these nurses. And so while New Yorkers are currently facing an affordability crisis, I think it's important to know that, how did they get all this money? How did they get $100 million? That's because New York City hospitals, these hospitals in particular, New York Presbyterian, Mount Sinai, are actually charging patients and communities more than 4 times as much as it actually costs to provide the care. That's including the staffing. So even if you include all of the staff and labor costs, there's still hundreds of millions of dollars that are going to these hospitals. Actually, the CEO of the hospital that my medical school is affiliated with, Steve Corwin, gets paid more than, I think, in 2020, it was $14 million. Now it's probably in the 20s of millions of dollars. And so New York Presbyterian specifically is actually currently under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. Yeah, the Trump Department of Justice, for colluding with insurance companies to keep prices high for New York patients. So in the midst of all of this context, they are trying to prevent nurses from having safe staffing levels, from being able to have protections from violence, and from being able to get care in the very hospitals where they are providing care. So if you want to learn how to support the nurses in the midst of this strike, there are a few things that you can do.
Very quickly.
Oh, yeah. 1, you can send an email to the CEOs of these hospitals expressing those opinions. 2, you can sign a pledge to support these nurses. 3, you can join the picket line. They're picketing outside of all of these hospitals from 7 a.m., I think, to 7 p.m., basically every day. And then the final thing that you can do is you can donate to the Nurses Strike Hardship Fund. If you want to find out more information about any of those, I have a QR code on my phone. There was also sent out on the email list to the community board about all the ways that you can support, but you can come by, scan the QR code, and it'll take you to the list of things that you can do. Thank you so much.
All right. That is the end of public session. Thank you.
Okay, next we have representatives from our elected officials' office. First up, from Mark Levine's office, I believe it's Evelyn Collado. Oh. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. I've been here many times before. I just wanted to sort of reintroduce myself. I'm Evelyn Collado. I'm the Manhattan Borough Director for the Office of the New York City Comptroller, who is now the Honorable Mark Levine. I continue to be your contact. You can always reach me at ecollad@comptroller.nyc.gov or call me at 929-545-0262. That's all. Thank you. The email, yes, ecollad@comptroller.nyc.gov. Thank you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much. Next up, Lucas Senator Cordell Clear's office. Thank you, Lucas, joining us as usual.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. So a quick update. Last year, before we went into the new year, we had our big Kwanzaa event. I hope you guys were able to come. We handed out a bunch of toys and celebrated Kwanzaa, which was very exciting. But we have some upcoming events tomorrow morning, actually, at 8:30. We have the Senator's Legislative Town Hall, which she's co-hosting with Human Services Consortium of East Harlem and East Harlem Community Health Committee. It is mainly an East Harlem event, however, everyone is welcome. And there'll be a bunch of elected officials there. Jordan Wright will be there. Some of the council members will be there. Al Taylor will be there, and Espaillat will be there. Then after that, on Monday at King Towers in Central Harlem, we'll be having our Martin Luther King Day celebration. So we'd love for you guys to come to that. There'll be food and trivia. So bring children, because there'll be a trivia, and then we're giving out toys to kids that do well in the trivia. And then it is from 1 to 4 p.m. And then finally, Senator Clear is hosting a Clean Slate Clinic. For those of you who know, the Clean Slate Act was passed recently. I believe it was 2 years ago or last year. But basically, for people who have been convicted of a misdemeanor, within 3 years, you can get that taken off of your record. Or for a felony, I believe 5 or 8 years, it can get taken off of your record. So we'll have the Community Service Society as well as legal aid attorneys at the Masjid Malcolm Shabazz on 116th and Lenox, doing a presentation and then also helping people clear their records if they're eligible. So that's a really big event. We're very excited about the Clean Slate Act. We had an event similar last year, and so we're having another one this year. And so if you guys could share that. I have the flyers. I also have the flyers there. I always forget to send them to Community Board 9 before the event, so that's on me. But yeah, and then I don't know if Youth gave a presentation about the apartments that Columbia.
Yes, we did.
So we're very excited about that. I'm a little upset because Columbia and MHCC and CB9 we had all been on a meeting with them to advocate for those apartments, and they didn't tell us or MHCC. They just sent it to Community Board 9, which is a little frustrating. It's just, I don't know, I feel like they act in bad faith quite often. But we'll continue fighting. I believe MHCC is having a rally to open up the gates on the 20th. I'm sorry if I was late. So I'll be there. I'd love to see you guys there. But yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I will see you guys soon. And as always, I'll be right there. So come see me if you need anything. And our phone number is 212-222-7315. It's on our flyers. So give us a call if you need anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. Next up from Assemblyman Lassiter's office, Hannah Friedman.
Hi, folks. Happy New Year. Is that an okay volume? Okay. So just a little geographical information. Micah's assembly district goes up to 125th, so this is the tippy top of the district. So for anyone who lives south of that, down to 80th Street, Micah represents you in the New York State Assembly, and we're here to make sure for everyone that city and state agencies are doing their job. So if you or any neighbors are having issues with a city or state agency not giving you your due, it's our job to make sure that they do so. So please feel free to reach out to us. I'm Micah's Director of Community Engagement, so you'll be working with me. And we've got a few updates now that the legislative session is back up and running. The governor gave her State of the State address and committed to moving forward 4 pieces of legislation that correlate with Micah's bills. So the first bill that got referenced that'll be moving forward with her support is a bill to allow state health officials to step into the shoes of the CDC and make data-driven vaccine recommendations. So it's just nice to know that our state will have our back in that way. Secondly, there's a bill to create a 25-foot buffer zone around places of worship and healthcare facilities like reproductive rights healthcare facilities like Planned Parenthood to protect New Yorkers from harassment around those areas. And then there were 2 pieces of legislation that she committed to that we were very, very proud of. that are served to protect our immigrant neighbors. One of them bars ICE agents from sensitive locations like temples, schools, churches, and mosques without a judicial warrant. And that also includes healthcare facilities. And then the second piece of legislation creates, it's called a private right of action for citizens to use if they're against ICE if they violate anyone's constitutional rights. So that's if ICE violates your constitutional rights, you personally can sue, which that is a mechanism that didn't previously exist. So we're hoping to have that passed this year and have the governor sign it, have it go into law, and we're proud to have those be in our state legislation. So while that's going on in Albany, we've also been hitting the ground running down here in the district, and we've got a few upcoming events this weekend on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 96. It's 96 between 96th and 97th on Amsterdam. We're co-hosting a textiles and e-waste recycling collection at the Church of the Holy Name of Jesus, St. Gregory the Great. So that'll be anything like old computers, keyboards, DVD players that have been cluttering your home. You can feel free to come on over and drop those off, and we'll process them for you, as well as clothing, towels, bedding, etc. If you've got any questions, just give me a shout. We've got a senior tech support that's going to be taking place at our office on next Friday, January 23rd from 10 to 2. So if you know anyone who could use assistance, either just navigating email, if you've got anyone who needs to use an app to access healthcare but is having difficulty doing so, please feel free to give us a call, sign up. We've got 4 open appointments left. And then lastly, we every month invite a benefits specialist assistant to come to our office. They come the 4th Wednesday of the month. They'll be coming this 28th from 10 to 5 to assist with any issues that anyone is having with benefits. Thank you all for your patience, and it was such a pleasure to join you all tonight. It was such a positive energy.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
take
so
care.
much. Okay, I think that includes our elected officials, unless I missed someone. I think that was it. We will move on to our action items. First action item up is
Hi,
a letter of
Victor.
concern. Oh,
Can you
hey,
see me? Can
Gabrielle, I
you
didn't
hear
see you.
me?
Sorry.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, it's okay. Is it okay if I have a minute before you move on? Can you hear me?
Floor is yours.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I just wanted to share some news. We have a couple legislative updates. Today, Councilmember Sean Abreu was named the City Council Majority Leader, as well as the Chair of the Transportation Committee. These leadership roles offer our community unprecedented opportunity to influence budget and policy decisions citywide over the next 4 years. So it's a big deal, and we're very excited. He will be working alongside the Speaker to push for real progress on housing, childcare, healthcare costs, and the everyday issues that shape quality of life across our city and, of course, our district. On transportation issues, he wants to bring the same approach from trash containerization, which is people first. He will work with communities and advocates here in Upper Manhattan and citywide to make our streets safer, our infrastructure more reliable, and our public spaces work better for those of us who use them every day. He will push for the 155th Street bike lane and other ones that CB9 supports, amongst other projects that reimagine our streetscapes to make our neighborhoods more safe, accessible, lively, and filled with opportunity. Personally, I'm also very excited to be able to see how much push we can give or we can do with the viaduct, which has been one of our biggest struggles. The council member also stood with residents of 3333 Broadway yesterday evening at a press conference. Was that yesterday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. About the 2 cases of Legionnaire's disease. So we remain in close contact with the Department of Health and Mental Health and building management to make sure that they are moving swiftly to follow protocols and testing, and certainly providing clear communication and resources to residents. We will be sending out an e-newsletter tomorrow, but upcoming community events that I would flag, Hannah mentioned the e-waste and textile recycling event, which will be happening on Saturday from 10 to 2 p.m. I just wanted to flag that our team will likely be there from 10 to 2. So if you want to speak to our constituent liaison, Luca, please step by between those hours. We also will be at the Key to the City Community Resource Fair tomorrow at Morningside Library. And And another big one is the mammogram event. So we have a mammogram event at the district office on February 4th, which I certainly need your support in ensuring that we have a big list of patients, of folks who want to get their mammogram. So I will share the district office contact information for those of you who may not yet have it. That's 212-928-6814. And you can call and we will basically register you, at which point the organization will reach out to you and screen you to sort of confirm your appointment. But again, that's 212-928-6814. And we are located at 500 West 141st Street on 141st and Amsterdam. And for those of you who don't know me, because I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, I am the district director for Councilmember Sean Abreu. That's all, and thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Gabriella, quick thing. One, at the 3333 building meeting, I was there with Sean, we asked the building management to test all buildings, and I just mentioned that to the Assemblyman and State Senator's office as well. If you can have him press that as well. They had committed to just testing towers A and B, but we're asking for the other 3 towers to be tested as well to make, put people's minds at rest.
Okay.
Do you have flyers for the mammogram event?
Yes, I may have already sent them to you though, because I scheduled this before Christmas, but I may have holiday brain and not be remembering. So I will double check, but nonetheless, I'll send it again if I didn't. But yes, because like I said, I really would want to make sure that we have, the bus comes out and they're there almost all day. So when folks don't register, it feels like, oh my goodness, there has to be someone who needs the service who's not getting it. So definitely could use your support in making sure that folks who may be needing a mammogram this year register.
What's the date again, Gabriella?
That's February
of it?
February 4th, the 4th of February.
4th. Okay.
So in about
We'll
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Of course. Take care. Bye-bye.
There's a question. Yes. I can't hear you. Okay. Did it say they were testing all buildings? Okay. Great. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay.
I only got like half of that, Victor, but if you could maybe repeat it.
The gentleman is saying that Sean has advertised. Excuse me? Yeah, okay. Juan Comonares has said that there's been events advertised in the past by the office, and then when people show up, there's no event. So he just wanted to make sure that this is confirmed that it's going to be happening.
Just so that he knows it, because to be honest, that's just not true. But if there's been any confusion, it could have been because sometimes the mammogram bus isn't able to park right in front, because despite and I say because it is very personal, because I'm the one who puts up the no parking signs. I make sure my team puts up the no parking signs. We reinforce the no parking signs. And sometimes people just take them down or people park anyway. So there has been maybe 2 times that we've held the event at the office where we've had to park either on the side or across the street, but still like very much in close proximity. And the office is always open because we serve as sort of like a waiting room. So if you're in doubt, just come in and ask, like, hey, maybe the bus was moved. But unless if an event like such is canceled, we make sure that everyone gets a phone call, because usually there's a reason. So like, for example, I have maybe canceled 1 mammogram event, and it's not that we canceled it, we rescheduled it because again, there were not enough participants. And in that case, it just feels like a waste, not to get as much as we can for the service. But if that was his experience, I'm sorry to hear that, but certainly just reach out to me because I'm there every day. Thank you.
Okay, will do. Thank you. Okay, back to action items. Letter of concern from Health Committee.
Yeah, so this is essentially a letter from the Health Committee. Folks might have heard there was like a recent article that came out that reported that more than 13 elderly New Yorkers died over a 6-week span following fires this winter. And so that's a concerning statistic, particularly for our community, since we have, so many folks who are elderly. We have so much older housing stock. As folks may or may not be aware, electrical issues, particularly in older housing stock, is responsible for a bulk of the fires that occur. So that's things like aging wiring, overloaded outlets, deteriorated electrical panels, but also stuff like portable space heaters, open flames, candles, a lot of things that, both folks are using and might be like overtaxed because they haven't gotten repaired or upgraded in a while, but also things that, like, if you are a tenant and you live in a building and your landlord is not responsible with the heating in the building, you might decide to get a space heater, but a lot of these space heaters are not very safe and can potentially start fires. So we wrote this letter. Essentially, we're calling for a few things. So we're inviting FDNY to establish a partnership with community organizations to test and replace malfunctioning or expired smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, conducting winter heating safety outreach to communities, including distributing free smoke detectors, education on the safe use of space heaters, and culturally appropriate fire prevention, so safe use of stuff like candles and incense and stuff like that, and then also subsidizing safer heating options for income-qualified seniors, cracking down on landlords who are increasing tenants' reliance on space heaters and not providing adequate heating. Okay, and then increasing proactive fire code enforcement in older buildings, and then leveraging FDNY community risk assessments to identify high-risk blocks within CB9 and other vulnerable neighborhoods, and tailoring preventive programs more accordingly. So it's
Unanimous consent.
I think the one thing that I will say that I think came up in the executive meeting is that somebody had a suggestion for including sort of fire blankets to this. So I would accept that, fire blankets and fire extinguisher distribution to community members as a friendly amendment.
Question.
We have a question. Okay. I'm happy for that.
So I appreciated seeing the landlords mentioned here. I may be mistaken, but I always also thought it was a landlord's responsibility to provide the smoke alarms as well, but here it's listed kind of like establishing the partnership between FDNY and community organizations, when that's something landlords should be held accountable to. And that kind of goes back to the statement on our agencies like DOB and HPD. I personally have put in requests, had the whole HPD visit. Landlord doesn't do anything after that visit, so I'm still dealing with some of these issues that could potentially lead to fire in my own apartment because of my landlord's ignoring of my needed repairs. So I think it would be great to add a little bit more tie into that aspect.
So absolutely. So I think we can definitely add additional language on landlord accountability. I'm always happy to do that. I think the reason that we did separate out sort of like, partnership with FDNY and sort of smoke detector distribution is because ultimately the goal is, the distant goal is to hold your landlord accountable, but the real proximal goal is to get a smoke detector. So I think, while negotiating with your landlord and while holding them accountable, the most important thing, this winter and every winter is for folks to have smoke detectors in their buildings, in their homes. So I think that the free distribution, in addition to, holding landlords accountable through FDNY, through Department of Buildings, through housing, I think is sort of why these were both mentioned in the statement. But I think we can make those amendments to ensure that there is an increased emphasis on both ensuring that the actual building quality is to a standard that is concordant with the law, safe, but also to ensure that landlords are held accountable in providing sort of the basic requirements of the law in terms of fire detection equipment to their tenants. Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. Is there like a motion to like chat offline to get the language correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
We'll table the action for now.
Up to y'all. I don't know.
Yes. A motion to table the action until it's amended to include
Bet.
the items mentioned. Okay. All right. Next up, creation of the Columbia University Tenants Union. That's coming out of Housing, Land Use, and Zoning, I take it. Michael?
Hey everyone, how's it going again? Yeah, so just a little bit about the Columbia University Tenants Union. This was formed as a coalition, a partnership between a lot of the organizing that's being done by non-affiliates living in Columbia-owned buildings and the enormous number of grad students, undergrad, staff, and faculty that have also been mistreated over the last few years by Columbia as a landlord. So regarding the actual resolution, there is a page missing, the second page, which I can read onto the record. Would that work for folks? Yeah, so the resolution we passed is 3 pages, and I think there was a mistake in printing it out, which is all good. But yeah, just a little bit about some of the demands that the Columbia University Tenants Union has made. Protecting the affordability and availability of units for non-Columbia affiliated tenants. Ensuring building protection from warrantless law enforcement intrusion, so ICE and DHS. Expanding repair services to tenants. Negotiating fair rent increases for affiliated tenants in Columbia housing, and assisting non-affiliates who live in rent-stabilized housing in advocacy before city rent-setting agencies, and identifying and promoting amenities and programs to improve the quality of life in Columbia-owned residential buildings. So the main thing that the Tenants Union has been organizing around as we start the new semester at Columbia University has been a building at 620 West 116th Street that has not had cooking gas for the last several months, which, as far as we can tell, is an error that Con Edison has made. We have made a demand of Columbia to reduce the housing cost for the tenants in those buildings and have not been met with a response of any kind from Columbia, and so are really trying to get the support of Community Board 9 in advocating on that issue and organizing for the non-affiliates that live in Columbia housing as well.
So, Pat, question?
Yeah, like you said, it was a very strong union that existed throughout the 70s and 80s. The leader of it, as far as I know, unfortunately passed away. And so the tenants union did sort of begin to die with it. And that's, you know, there are definitely, yeah, there's a lot online about the death of him, yeah. Yeah, Barry?
So the question, excuse me one second, Walter. The question here is, do we want to move forward without the second page? Has Michael described what's on the second page enough so people are comfortable with that? Do we need to take a vote on that first?
Thanks, guys.
Okay, we have to take a vote. Call the roll.
So the non-affiliates to affiliates percentage. So that's not entirely clear, at least to me. There's a lot of data that Columbia sort of holds on its own regarding its housing. What we do know is that there are hundreds of non-affiliates that live in Columbia-owned housing. But that is, you know, something that we can make a request out of Columbia to find out. But as far as I know, that's not information that I could find online, yeah. Yeah, so we have, you know, the Morningside Heights Community Coalition, who you guys have all heard from a lot, have been sort of central to this, to the creation of the tenants union. A number of student groups in the undergrad at Columbia, as well as in grad schools at Columbia, have been a part of this since we started to create it in October. And we've had this whole door knocking operation that we've been organizing over the last 4 months or so, where we knock on as many doors as possible and talk to as many tenants as possible. And we've had, you know, more than 300, 400 interactions with folks about how we can be there for them, how we can organize around any issues that they raise, and have had, you know, very good turnout for all this stuff that we've been organizing so far. So hoping to keep it going.
Thank you, Michael. Question?
Yes. So, you know, we welcome folks to join and organize with the tenants union, whether you live in Columbia housing or not. You know, affiliates and non-affiliates, obviously a lot of us live in Columbia housing. So that is the sort of central purpose of it, yeah.
Okay, so the question's back on the table to proceed as is. Walter said unanimous consent, and anyone object to the unanimous consent proceeding as is? Okay, we'll take a vote.
Okay.
It's timely, so we're trying to move forward with it, so we'll take a vote. I understand your objections, but we'll take a vote.
I'm also welcome to make the second page available to anyone that wants to take a look. So.
Michael, you don't have to. I will send it out.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. April Adams. I'm sorry, was there another comment?
April, what was your?
Oh, I heard talking. All right.
To proceed or yes to table? Proceed. So the yes is to proceed, no is to table. Next.
Okay, Joyce,
Yes.
Walter? Andrea? Gregory's not here, right? No. Patricia Caldwell? No, right? Okay. Cameron? Okay, he's not here. Vanessa? Vanessa? Okay, Juan? Oh my God, okay. Gretchen? Dijon? Okay, Dijon? Is Dijon here? Okay, Marita?
Oh.
Elizabeth? Victor? Denise? Lydia? John Martin?
Yes.
Michael Gross? Okay. Monique? Yes. Laquita is not here, correct? Yes. Heather? Chris?
Oh, yes.
Patricia Wilder Johnson? Milton Justice? Okay. Ted? Christina? Tina? Bria? Deirdre? Alana? Lena? Solomon?
Yes, to proceed.
Teresa? David? Mateen? Veronica? Jordan? Shantae? Thank you. Francina? And Abraham?
I guess I don't get to
Passes.
vote, but
So sorry. Sorry. Vanessa? Did I? Okay. Where is she? Did I miss anybody? Okay. Thank you.
So it does pass. We'll give you the numbers shortly. Oh, you have the number? Next up is a letter of support for the Max Bond. Okay. So now we'll take a vote. Okay, Walter, unanimous consent, second by Jordan. Same thing, same thing. Everybody. One. So noted. No. Okay. Just one. Okay, moving forward. Thank you, everybody, for that. And Michael, thank you. That's an important thing we need in Morningside Heights community for sure. Thank you. Next up, letter of support for the Max Bond Center for Urban Futures.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mateen Sarsi. I'm the co-chair of the Housing, Land Use, and Zoning Committee. One of the great pleasures that we had over at our committee meeting last month was having City College of New York, Sean Rickenbacker and his team, present to us what they have called the Equitable Development Index. Sorry. It's a very interesting tool, and when we consider the fact that we have current changes in the city charter, things that are supposed to move the procedures for any kind of development at a much faster pace, it also means we need much faster tools to make decisions, especially as we look at City of Yes, especially as we look at other policies in the city to fast track housing. This particular program is specifically meant to tackle that issue. It takes a variety of data sets from different sources and essentially creates a tool in which folks on the community board, not just here, but has the ability to cover all 59 community boards throughout the city, to not only make decisions in terms of being able to put together kind of like how's the best way of putting it? It essentially takes into effect like any kind of variables. It takes into consideration a variety of funding sources that make different projects out there, and you could essentially compare them against others. So you could see basically how much money subsidy might be getting pumped into a project and be able to make a better decision in terms of like how effective that money is going or how effective these subsidies are helping certain communities, and you could compare those to different projects and basically kind of call baloney whenever city agencies are coming before you with dense materials that you have to read. And now that we have to limit our time in terms of how long it takes for us to look at it, this EDI is, I think, going to be a game changer in that sense. And so City College is looking to apply for a foundation. They're applying to a foundation to get grant money so that they could actually develop this tool further and make this more available to the public, to the community boards. And I think we should be in favor of it. I think it is going to be a wonderful tool. We've seen a demo of it. And so I know I definitely want to be one of the testers when they go through this, but they're applying for funding to actually make this happen. And so this letter of support is to support this EDI. If folks want to see demos, I think they've made presentations before the committee board. They've made presentations at our committee meeting. And it's really a wonderful tool. It's better to watch than I could explain, only because of how much data they're actually going through. Yes, I have a question. Absolutely. Sounds good. It stands for Equitable Development Index. Yeah.
Any other questions? Is a motion for unanimous consent on the floor? And a second? Any objections? Oh, you were seconding. Okay. So it passes. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, y'all. Good evening. So we have some liquor license applications to vote on tonight. The first being Hilda's Hospitality, aka La Artista, which is at Hamilton Place and West 143rd Street. So there is a typo on the sheet. It says that we're voting to not support it. Our committee voted to support this liquor license application. So I'm not sure if but it's a vote of support for the liquor license. No, that was incorrect. There's a typo. The 30th precinct had no issue with any of these establishments that we're voting on tonight, or the 26th. So yes, we're voting in support of La Artista, unless y'all are telling me something different tonight. I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Do you want me to go through them real quick? Like the rest of them? The renewals and the... No. Does any... Can it... Yeah. Okay, so I'll go through it quickly. So we have, the next up are some renewals. We have Toast Uptown, which is on Broadway between Tiaman and LaSalle, Arts and Craft Beer on Amsterdam and 116th Street, Tom's Restaurant on Broadway between West 112th and West 113th, and Fumo on Amsterdam and 139th Street. And then we have a class change application for Cafe Masawa right here on Broadway and West 125th, I believe. They're just applying for, well, I know they're applying for a full liquor license instead of just beer and wine. And in full transparency, we also received a renewal application for Mama Sushi, but we know that they have some issues in the neighborhood, so we're going to ask them to come to our February meeting before we vote on their application. We have a question back here. The principal has changed. The question here? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not sure. That is not the correct precinct, yes. So it is the 30th precinct. No, that's 26th, excuse me. The 26th precinct, not the 33rd. Make sure to take a closer look at that before we submit the report, the readout. All right, abstain. Any other abstentions? Okay, Heather Jason also abstains.
I just have Caldwell and Jason abstaining?
Yes, but you have a no on something, Patricia? Patricia, did you have a no on something? On the very first one? On La Artista or Toast? La Artista. No, I only see it once, but yes. Okay. All right. So I think the rest passed. So we're good? All right. Thank you. Oh, wait, did you have, sorry. Yes. No, we don't have any objections. We support it fully. No objections. There's a typo. Sorry. It goes, so we have to amend this. We are going on record that the committee and the board have no objections with La Artista.
The word no is missing.
I know, it's a little confusing. Yeah. Mhm. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Are we at old business? I assume any old business to discuss. Okay. What? Oh, yes, yeah. Before we leave, the mayor came out on 12th Avenue for the automatic public toilet. Maybe, Chris, you attended, correct? Can you give us a little update? Thank you. I'll see you after class, son.
All right. So Saturday morning, the mayor was here along with the city council speaker and a slew of folks to announce an RFP. This would be a citywide RFP for the design of a automatic public toilet different than what will be installed here. It's going to be a modular design that can sit on the surface. It does not have to connect to city utilities. The ATP that will be installed here will be connected to city utilities. What's significant about this is I believe the mayor is shooting for like 500 of these modular ATPs. So it will not be immediate. I suspect it'll be in the third year. The design will probably take place in the second year. RFP will be answered in the coming year. Great event. The speaker was here. Assemblyman Wright attended, along with City Councilman Majority Leader now, Sean Abreu. It was a great morning. Very swift. The mayor came in for about 20 minutes. Any questions?
So you're saying, yeah, I do have. The one they're proposing to put here is going to be connected to the utilities.
Correct.
The ones going forward will be
not be.
self-contained and not
Right.
connected. Okay.
I'm going to speculate that they're sort of like porta potties.
Right.
Ish. Yeah. You're more than
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you, Chris. We're still on old business. Yeah, I could slap. Oh, sorry. Question? You had a question, Pat? I didn't, so many people talking, I didn't hear you. Oh, yes. No, no, wait. Wait. Okay. Okay. All right. Gotcha. So, you got it? Okay. I mean, there's no, I spoke to DOT commissioner on this. There was no plans to do that at all. That was speculation, and people in the community wanted that done. But when I spoke to them, they said, we never heard anything about that. But just in case, we'll keep our eyes on it and move forward. Right. Yes.
So, excuse, it has not been
Thank-
established if it's open to close?
No.
They haven't even done like a feasibility study yet. That's the first step. They need to figure out the extent of the damage to figure out what a repair would even look like.
Great. Thank you for the update. Appreciate that. New business. Any new business on the table? Okay. A motion to adjourn would be in order at this time.
Motion that